Where the St. Lawrence River flows from Ontario into Quebec, human smugglers are plying their trade.
You're organizing them to be safely brought somewhere.
We're protecting this young mother's identity. She was recently convicted of smuggling migrants across the Canada-U.S. border.
And these people are more than willing. And they beg, like, please help me.
She's from Akwesasne, Mohawk Nation, and now lives in neighboring Cornwall. The small city is wedged between Ontario, Quebec, Mohawk Territory, and New York State. The cluster of border crossings, islands, and jurisdictions make it an ideal target for smugglers. In our vehicle, away from prying eyes, she outlines how the industry operates.
There's people in Montreal, right? And that would be an agency.
She says these agencies in Montreal, Ottawa, and Toronto are typically paid around $20,000 per person to arrange passage across the border.
You have these big agencies, and then you're the little guy.
She would receive around $6,000 to hire a team with a boat and driver. She says most of the migrants in Canada were from Eastern Europe or Southeast Asia, desperate to connect with family or a job in the U.S. And she, too, was desperate.
We're not all bad people. You're trying to make a living. You need to do what you have to do. It's either you watch your kids starve and you lose them, or you figure out a way to help them.
She says the migrants' safety was her top priority, but the same can't be said for everyone.
This has fast become one of the most popular routes for migrants trying to cross the border illegally between Canada and the United States. It's only about a 15-minute boat ride to get across to the other side, but the waters of the St. Lawrence can at times be treacherous and even deadly.
In late March, 2 migrant families from India and Romania drowned after their boat capsized trying to cross into the U.S. The Roma family lived in Canada for 5 years, but were ordered deported. The youngest victims, just 1 and 2 years old. Police are now hunting for the boat's owner, a local suspected of smuggling.
Unfortunately, it gives a black eye to all Mohawk people of Akwesasne.
This Mohawk historian grew up on these waters. He says the boat capsized where 2 rivers, the St. Regis and St. Lawrence, converge.
And it's tricky out there. And if a wind comes about, then that could easily upset a small watercraft.
Despite the danger, the number of illegal crossings here has climbed significantly this year, possibly due in part to the recent closing of nearby Roxham Road.
But it's a jurisdictional nightmare.
This Akwesasne journalist's office straddles the border.
But that would be considered the U.S. You take a few steps and you're considered to be in Canada.
Noting just how difficult the crossing is to police.
Immigration is such a big problem everywhere, and we're such a small community trying to deal with it.
She and others here believe the Mohawk Nation should have greater resources and authority to patrol these waterways, to stem the tide of migrants making a dangerous trek. Jeff Semple, Global News, Akwesasne.